If I could Sunday or Monday morning quarterback a decision about getting into writing, looking back on 40 years of trying to write since I was age 12 and finally getting published at age 52, I'd say, first of all, follow my mother's advice, which is to keep a copy of everything you write. Don't stop writing. You know, a lot of people say, I only write to get published, and I didn't get published, so I gave up. I think we need to write for God. We don't need to write for man. If we have a real deep-seated desire to express ourselves through the written word, do that, because that's important, whether or not you find someone to put it in a paper or to put it in a published book. The second bit of advice I'd give you would be to make sure that you invest in yourself. Like I've talked about in the past, you need to learn the craft of nonfiction or of fiction. You need to be working with people who understand it better. So you go to writers' conferences, a very important thing to do. I've told some editors that I used to think a writers' conference was for a bunch of groupies who were having a big love-in around key authors. And it turns out that's not what it is at all. It's a place where you can go get seminars and you get mentoring, particularly in Christian writing conferences like Mount Hermon's Christian Writer Conference out in the Santa Cruz, California area. I'd also invest in editors, such as freelance editors, who could help you to refine your craft by telling you what's wrong. Do what's called a developmental edit and let them give you some critiques back. Join a critique group at your local bookstore. Barnes & Noble does these on a regular basis. Another thing to do is to subscribe to Writer's Digest and to understand what Writer's Digest is telling you about things like proposal development and how to do better plots and characterization. And the last thing to do to be a better writer, I believe, is to pray and to study the Bible, particularly in Christian work. If we're going to write in a way that impacts other people, we first need to understand the real word. And if you understand the real word, then your written word will be good word too.